cannot hide from the fact that IT jobs are some of the highest paying jobs these days. But not all of us can code, right? If you're planning to start or switch your career in the IT industry, make sure to watch this video carefully. From my 7 years of experience in tech with no degree or advanced knowledge in coding, I was able to put together a successful career in the IT. I will share 9 jobs that do not require any coding skills and are highly rewarding in the IT industry. And for each of these 9 jobs, I will be sharing the qualities and the background required for you to be successful in that role, and also how you can start your journey in those roles. Let's get started. To explain you all of these roles, I will be taking some examples of any software that you all know. For example, let's take Uber, and I will explain each role. If Uber app is to be developed, then what would be the role of each of these people in creating that business and creating that tech product. Number 1, project manager. In an IT company, there are lots of moving parts amongst different teams. There are 2 types of IT companies. In case of product companies, there is one product, but there are multiple users for that single product. In case of service companies, it can be custom solutions that are prepared for the clients and delivered to those based on the requirements that they ask for. But in both the cases, project managers hold a very key role. A project manager handles the requirements of what exactly is to be delivered and breaks it down into small parts for different teams and different team members to work on. And once the development of that certain product is already started, through the journey, they would also make sure that everybody is getting constant updates, the progress is being shared, and also if there are any risks or constraints, they are being recognized and addressed. Let's say Uber. So if some functionality within Uber, let's say driver app, is being developed, then the responsibility of the project manager would be to assure that the different pieces within driver app are identified, they are handed over to certain chunks of time and also different team members if required. And during the development, a project manager would keep an eye on any constraints that could arise, any risks that could arise and that could delay the project. So a project manager has to handle 3 key things. First is the time, second is the cost, and third are the resources. And now the skills and background required to become a successful project manager. Number 1, having a personality who likes to stay organized. Number 2, having attention to detail and intricacy. Number 3, ability to clearly communicate any risks, constraints, or even the plans that are being prepared. Now there are a few approaches on how you could start your career into project management. One way is to get some kind of certifications within project management. There are lots of options. Second is to look for internal opportunities within your existing company and maybe take up one of the projects and become a project manager for it. Try to see whether it suits you and then slowly start to steer into that role. Next, product manager. Product managers are expected to take the responsibility of the success of the product. Typically, this role is only found in product-based companies like Uber itself. A product manager could be a person within Uber who would decide what next to make. For example, what next feature should be launched. They would sit with some kind of market analysis and also the user behavior to watch out what could be the next best feature to launch. They would ask these questions. Is this impactful? How much time and resources would we need to put into creating this? Should we prioritize some other feature over this? Product managers would sit with other leaders and stakeholders to make these decisions and then carry it out forward. They would kind of hand it over to the project manager who would execute the entire project. A product manager is expected to empathize with the users, understand the risks and impact, and also take the responsibility of the success for that certain feature or the product. They create the vision and roadmap of the product so that there are some next big wins already aligned for the product. To be successful in product management, there are bigger responsibilities than there would be for the other roles. 1, being a problem solver. 2, being empathetic. And 3, having a business understanding so that you are able to analyze different market trends, competitors, and then make these decisions. To start your journey in this role, you could go for some certifications. There are product management certifications these days. You could join communities to learn from other PMs itself. For example, there are Slack communities like product-led growth, etc. And if you're looking for a switch, then you could pick up the industry expertise that you already have and start to become product manager in that industry itself. For example, if you're already into finance, you could start picking up the knowledge about product management and become a product manager into some company which is into fintech. Number 3, product marketing managers. Now let's say that the feature that was being planned by the product manager and the project manager, that is ready, that is developed by the coding team and is already passed by the quality assurance team. Now is the time we make the announcement about that feature and make it more exciting in the market. That's where a product marketing manager would come in. They will strategize what should be the communication style, who should be the target audience, who should be getting updated about these new features, and how do we really position that feature out in the market. A product marketing manager makes sure that the feature that is being shipped out or the product that is being shipped out has its own packaging. It seems attractive to the right kind of users, to the right set of users, and that communication goes out smoothly. They could work on an array of communication types, for example, PRs, which is press releases. They could be working out on some blog posts, on some kind of newsletter emails. They could also be working out on the branding or positioning of a certain feature within the product itself, promoting that feature. So all of these strategies related to the release of the product are typically managed by the product marketing managers. What qualities or background would be needed to become a successful product marketing manager? Number one is that you would be a creative person who can visualize how to put out some certain product feature in a very attractive way. Next, business acumen is highly required because you need to strategize how your product will speak with the users. Then, of course, you have to be amazing at communication, and that communication goes beyond just verbal and written communication. You have to be expressive, maybe even in the visuals of presenting a certain product's features and the product itself out to the market. So a few ways that you could steer into this role. One, you could simply look for an internal change where for any product that you are already a part of, you can also participate in the marketing activities for it and perhaps take up some kind of responsibilities from there. The second option could be if you are already into sales or marketing, if you already have some experience, then it should be super easy for you to take up this kind of a role. There are a lot of Slack groups and a lot of communities where product marketing is actively discussed, just like the one that is for product managers, product-led growth. They are excellent resources for product marketing. There are no specific certifications that as far as I have come across, but if you found it, you can drop down in the comments below. Fourth, business analyst. This is one of the roles which is very close to my heart because I started my career with it. The role of a business analyst is to sit with the product manager, with the product team who has been brainstorming on a certain product or a certain feature, and then detail it out point to point, create some kind of flow diagrams to explain it, create some kind of documentation, could be like business requirement documentation, software requirements, specifications, or user stories, and put them in a format that can be easily digested by the development team so that the development team does not struggle with what exactly they need to make. They have all the requirements in front of them and they just focus on the coding. This role can commonly be found in product-based companies as well as in service-based companies because analysis for that certain business has to go in. Let's say some kind of feature is being designed for Uber. Let's say online payments is being designed for Uber. Now, product manager has identified that that is one of the features that they want to launch. And project manager would go ahead and lay out a plan that, hey, it's going to take 10 days into designing and then few days, this much days into the development and then into QA. Now, the role of the business analyst comes in where they are giving specific instructions. What should be the flow of the screens? What should be the buttons? Where would they lead to? And then also to the development team. For example, maybe there's a certain constraint. The credit card has to be validated before the button next is pressed. So these kind of details would be provided essentially by the business analyst and given in written to the development team. Some skills that might come in handy and some background that might come in handy to transition into this role are that you are great at attention to detail. You have a knack to analyze complex situations and complex features and functionalities. And if there is a lot of chaos around you, you can actually simplify and document it down in a clear format. Next is general analysis. You have a strong acumen for it. And also you are able to clearly communicate through written medium, which is creating user stories, creating flow diagrams, passing it on to the development team. And if you want to start your career or switch into business analysis, sense, you could go for some certifications into analysis, or you could even take certifications for tools like SQL. You may also take some kind of internal switch. I have been mentioning internal switch quite a lot in most of the previous roles as well, but I think that is the easiest way when it comes to taking up a new role. I hope you're enjoying all of the roles that I'm sharing and you're getting valuable information from it. I have been into this industry and I understand the challenges and I understand the shortcuts as well. So make sure that you subscribe me to know more about remote working, freelancing, digital nomad lifestyle. If you want me to cover a specific topic, make sure to drop a comment down below. Or even if you are finding it challenging to fit into a role and you have specific questions, I will try my best to get back to you. Number 5, Scrum Master. I have taken up this role as well. I am a certified Scrum Master. I'm a professional Scrum Master, which is called as PSM. I have only cleared the stage 1, which is PSM1. So I'm certified by Scrum.org. And I highly recommend going for this kind of a role as well, because it is highly suited for even those people who do not have any coding knowledge. Scrum Masters are expected to develop an environment of Agile framework, and you can Google Agile framework as well to understand what it is. But to give you a very brief of it, Agile means that you are not waiting for perfection to develop the whole product in one straight go. Rather, you make something functional, release it, learn from that launch, and then go back and improve that functionality, or even embed that improvement into the further product. So that's what Agile means, and a Scrum Master is expected to forge that kind of environment within the teams. Smaller, faster deliveries is one of the mottos of Scrum. The Scrum Master essentially is expected to create a system or a cadence or a process in which there are time-boxed events happening. For example, there are sprints. Sprint is also a term which is commonly used in the IT industry. These sprints are like blocks of goals, small milestones which can be accomplished by the development teams. Scrum Master would essentially empower the team with these processes and try to reduce the unpredictability into the work that is coming in. Make sure that they all agree with each other that this is the set of tasks that we will be completing in the next 2 weeks. This is the facilitation that a Scrum Master is expected to do. Some qualities that a Scrum Master should have. One is communication. Since a Scrum Master is expected to raise any issues that might be coming up or any tensions between the team members, good communication skills are highly recommended. Second is planning. So making sure that you are able to support your team in a planned, structured manner. It is one of the most important responsibilities of a Scrum Master. Operational thinking, which means thinking in terms of systems. If you are putting some kind of system into place or a process into place which can empower the team, reduce their burden, reduce their anxiety, and also ensure good results. The easiest way to become a Scrum Master is to go for the certification. It can cost around $100 or so to go for the certification, but it is absolutely worth it. You can learn from the Scrum Guide, which is kind of an 11 to 12 page document. It is very condensed, but it can help you learn a lot. Even if you don't want to go for the certification, that one document can really help you in understanding why these frameworks are set, how do you follow them, what are the practical mistakes that you might end up making, and how to resolve them. Make sure to drop a like if you liked my video, and see you in my next video. Bye-bye.